Severed Steel is a new indie first-person shooter that successfully combines the first-person combat of Fear and fuses it with the movement found in Mirror's Edge. This creates this exhilarating gameplay loop that allows the player to feel like they are crafting their own stylized action sequence. The movement and shooting work together, resulting in satisfying kills, while also giving you that same sense of satisfaction from moving smartly throughout the environment. Severed Steel is easy to pick up and extremely hard to put down, and it's easily one of my favorite games of this year. Severed Steel provides the player with a few useful movement options that can be chained together as you navigate the levels. The speed of the game is very fast, and as a result, you always have your sprint on. Momentum plays a key factor in whether you are sliding or diving. Sliding allows you to quickly move under objects like tables along with gaps between walls. This can be useful to provide you with some quick protection from gunfire, while also being able to take out some enemies as you aim for their legs. You can even gain a bit of speed advantage as you slide downstairs, and it is important to note that you are not restricted in where you can slide. If you so choose, you can opt to slide upstairs as well. As you will see, the different movement options are tools in your arsenal, along with your guns that you can choose to use in a way that fits your playstyle. The dive allows you to push yourself in any direction. You can use this after a jump to provide you with a forward boost as well. To round out your options is that you can run on any wall. While this can be problematic in first-person games, wall running here is easy to pull off. All of these moves are very easy to use, and the skill will come from being able to chain these together to be able to zip around the battlefield. As you get more comfortable with them, along with learning the maps, you can create movement combos that will have you executing cool move after cool move. The movement speed and options work well with the shooting to create this unique experience that rewards the player for thinking on the fly and provides you with this sense of accomplishment every time you pull off a stylized move or transition into one. The shooting itself is very enjoyable. The fast and slightly floaty movement works well with the arcadey shooting. You will not need to worry about reloading within Severed Steel. Since the main character only has one arm, she is unable to reload, so whatever ammo you have in the weapon you pick up is all you have. This aspect also enhances the pacing of the action, since you will need to continually hunt down new weapons to use. Once a weapon is empty, you can opt to just throwing your gun at an enemy, and in many cases that will take them out. You can also steal a weapon off of anybody. Weapons can even be picked up while you are sliding or running on walls. There's a good variety of weapons to use, from pistols, SMGs, shotguns, rifles, and even a few special ones, like a flamethrower and a grenade launcher. The weapon sound effects are pretty good, with some punchy sounding shots coming from the shotguns. Since the action can get really chaotic, there is a well done sound effect that will only play once you have killed an enemy. And during the chaotic shootouts, this can be really useful so you know to move on to the next person. The impact is where the action shines. There's good pushback to the defeated enemies. Depending on the weapon you use, some will even cause them to explode. Related to this are the destructible environments. Walls, doors, and objects can be damaged or destroyed in firefights. In some cases, you can damage a wall to hit the enemy on the other side. You do earn an arm cannon that will allow you to blow holes in anything. It can also be used as a weapon to take out an enemy's shield. What I liked about this cannon is how it provided the player with more stylish means to keep their combo going. For example, you can be sliding through one room, and instead of using the door to the right of you, you could use your arm cannon to blow open a wall and keep the firefight going. It adds some player creativity to how you can interact with the levels. There's even some fun optional problem solving and experimentation with using it as well. I wanted to see if I could create a hole that was deep enough to be able to pop myself right near the objective, instead of navigating around the map. I was able to do this, and it kind of reminded me of the destruction found in the first Red faction. These sorts of situations are rewarding as well, since you wonder if you can do something and then the game doesn't really restrict the player, but rather allows them to try it out and accomplish it. Both the shooting and the movement are all enhanced by the use of the slow-mo mechanic. At any time you can activate this, which makes taking out most enemies a lot easier or allowing you to get into a better position, or even aiming better while running on a wall. The only way to earn both more slow-mo and health are through killing enemies. The game is actively pushing the player into engaging with the enemy and rewarded for doing so. This isn't a game where you will go and hide, but rather figure out new strategies to go on the offensive to take out your targets. This results in compelling situations of you deciding to tackle one area and then potentially switching what you are doing on the fly to handle the situation better. Severed Steel intermingles its mechanics to create this combat flow that grabs the player, hooks them right away, rewards experimentation, and allows for plenty of player expression. Everything within this game has the player either seeking the action or being pushed towards it. The movement provides you with the options to dodge enemy fire, reach different elevations, and zip across the battlefield. By only being able to carry one gun with no option to reload, you are always keeping an eye on your next option to get a fresh weapon. Gaining your resources back are done through killing enemies. Like I said before, all of these systems interweave with each other, and allows for the player to do a lot of on-the-fly problem solving. Severed Steel may look a bit simple, and at times mindless, but playing the game is anything but that. It is simple to understand and pick up, but the combat situations are continually dynamic. A big part about this is how the player can tackle a level, along with how the AI will react to you. A level may play out very differently if you opt to go left instead of right. The AI are continually trying to hunt you down, and will react to your movement and choices. You can play the same level 10 times and have different interactions with that level. This is where Severed Steel excels in both its gameplay loop and replay value. The game has two different modes. You have the campaign, which is a short and sweet experience that allows you to get your feet wet with the mechanics. Overall, I enjoyed the campaign, but this is not an area that I will replay. There are even cutscenes that bookend the different chapters, but there's a minimal amount of story and no voice acting. Think of all of this as a glorified tutorial. The real meat of the game is in the firefight mode. You will be tackling all of the maps, taking out enemies as fast as you can and as stylishly as you can. There is a light progression system here too. As you complete maps, you will unlock new ones, new starting weapons, along with different mutators that can change up the gameplay. You can use big head mode, deaths cause explosions, limited slow-mo, along with touching the floor causing damage. Since rooms can be tackled in so many different ways, and your actions cause the AI to react differently, you will get a lot of value out of this mode. The maps are vast with lots of different areas along with some fun level gimmicks. Some have teleporters, others have you floating on fans, and some are just fun locations like a train station or a club. Severed Steel comes with a built-in level editor as well. Like I said before, the gameplay is what's going to keep you coming back to this one, along with the healthy amount of replay value. I had some minor issues with this game, and some of my concerns from the demo were actually improved upon here. The demo did not use a traditional ammo counter and instead used a color system. I found this system really hard to read to be able to tell how much ammo I had. Now there is an optional ammo counter. There was an aiming acceleration issue within the demo using a controller, and now this can be turned off in the menus. While playing the final build, I had the game crash on me once in the campaign, and then an odd issue where the game was running, but it would force a menu up. This eventually went away after hitting the menu button. And lastly, I had a few instances where I'd be really close to enemies, and they would not start attacking me until I shot them first. This seemed like an odd bug. Outside of this, I enjoyed almost all of my time with this one. Severed Steel is a blast. After I played the Severed Steel demo, I thought it was a very promising first-person shooter. Now after playing the full game, this is easily one of the best indies and overall games I have played this year. So there's a really good mixture of influences from Fear and Max Payne's slow-motion gunplay, along with the movement from Mirror's Edge. Each time I am playing a level it feels fresh, and through the mechanics I am encouraged to try out a different approach. The gameplay loop is easily its greatest asset along with the replay value. The movement and shooting allow for a lot of fun on-the-fly problem solving mixed in with the AI being unscripted. I highly recommend Severed Steel, and thank you very much for watching.